Avedissian and Brody Gunter set to bring us down for the first green flag of the weekend. We are underway with the Pro Late Models on Florida Governor's Cup weekend, and it's Avedissian with the jump to turn one. Gunter's going to try to cross under off the corner. Look at Brad May on the bottom.
May taking a peek to the inside, looking to the low lane of Gunter. They single out top three. Williams looks to the outside for the fourth position. And Vail will give him room. In fact, Dylan Williams, a rookie in the class this year, that sharp 0-1, making a run to the high side of our top qualifier.
Sharp looking car indeed, trying to make that top side roll, and he will. Puts that Chevy nose in that 0-1 in front of our champion Vail, who bottoms out a little bit on the bottom side of the racetrack at 3 and 4, washes up to try to cement fourth. And he will do so here as they cross the stripe.
In an outlaw-looking car, but we've seen him in Pro Late Models the last couple of years, and his car is hooked up and handling well, and he's closing quickly. One of his tough challengers on a weekly basis, Brad May, who points out the window to the left and says, in Mark Martin fashion, you can have that lane, you can take that spot. Too early to try to hold you up because my car's not that good right now.
And so a bit of back and forth taking place between these two battling for the runner-up spot. And Jade Avedissian has been the pace setter since we got this race underway.
See what the strategy is here for Gunter. Does he try to hold off Jason Vail? He's ready to go. He's right on the rear bumper. Was close to that rear bumper. He looks to the inside in 1 and 2. And look how Vail's car turns down on the bottom. That's a great run for the 407 and the champion of the track this year in the Pro Lates. Jason Vail into turn 3. Move Vail up to the second spot. Our top qualifier closing on the leader.
Oh, Gunter, though, with the crossover move off of turn 4. So contrary to what we saw when Vail and Brad May got within close proximity, Gunter's going to try to fight to get that second spot back. But it's Vail who rips the top off, too, with the expected caution on the horizon.
It is cross flags and halfway this time by, so we are within about a half a lap from seeing that yellow flag wave and see our first caution of the event, which would be for running 50 consecutive laps. Vail is there right on the rear bumper, gets it a little sideways, peeks underneath, and the yellow waves officially bringing out our first yellow of the race for a competition yellow.
This is a fast-paced entry into the restart zone. Avedissian's on the button and ready to go. We're back underway with 41 circuits remaining. Avedissian cleared to the lead. Vail trying to set up high on the 407. Look at a cross-under move by the veteran. Side by side for the lead off two down the backstretch.
Into turn 3. To the bottom of the racetrack, Vail's car rotating so well. Clears Avedissian for the lead. And at lap number 60, new leader Jason Vail. But just as she would do in a midget car on dirt, Avedissian with a crossover.
Oh!
Up the track, slides it sideways, and Vail back out front.
And look at Gunter trying to poke his nose in there to make it a 3-car battle for the lead. Avedissian down low, Vail up top. Both cars wiggle off the corner. Gunter to the bottom 3 wide, but thinks better of it at the line.
Vail turns left, middle of the straightaway, tries to close the door on Avedissian. She will follow him off the corner, makes some contact. They're still battling side by side and hard for the lead. 39 to go, 38 at the line, more contact in 3 and 4. Vail will lead this time by, but it's not over yet.
Side by side for the lead, side by side for third, maybe. More contact in 1 and 2. Vail and Avedissian continue to brush one another's cars off the corner, with Brad May now lurking.
It's the prelude to the cup for the Pro Lates. And what a battle! Avedissian will save it after the contact, but will lose 3, 4, maybe 5 spots as Avedissian had to check up, and Vail is out front. 1 lap remains for Jason Vail, the veteran driver of the 407.
Vail continues to exercise that half-second advantage over Brody Gunter, who has had a stellar night in the number 96 car, but I'm afraid he's going to come up 1 spot short. The exclamation point on the track championship. Off of turn number 4, Jason Vail wins the Pro Late Model portion of the Prelude to the Cup at new Smyrna Speedway.
Jason Vail celebrating with his family right here. Winner tonight, Jason. First off, congratulations. We can see steam coming off your head. It's getting a little cold out here, but I just first want to talk about there was intense contact after that final restart. What was going through your mind, and how were you able to maintain the lead?
I didn't appreciate she doored me coming to take the green, and I don't know if it was intentional or not, but it tore my car up, and I got to fix my own car, so I didn't take kindly to it, but the rest of it was racing.
Well, back-to-back championships for you, and now a race win. What does it mean to be able to bring both of those home for you tonight?
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, we won almost almost all the races this year that we had a really good car all year, so it paid off.
Absolutely. Jason Vale, your winner in the Prelude to the Cup Pro Late Model Feature Division.
Field to the starting box in turn 4, pick up the pace, and to the green we go. The Modifieds of Mayhem 75-lap feature is underway at New Smyrna Speedway.
Whoa, how about this? 3 wide for the lead, and there goes Stickler. High, wide, and handsome, and to the point on the backstretch.
Tank Tucker, the veteran, looked to the inside of Matthew Green for second as well as the lead. It's his fellow veteran driver in the black and red, number 66 of Jerry Simons, following in line in 4th. Right behind him, a battle for 5th between our 3rd row starters, the 42 of Smith and the 2 of Bowman.
Now the pair of 15s are going to go at it for second spot. Matthew Green on the outside in the orange, or I should say yellow and red number 15 machine, getting muscled aside by Tank Tucker in the white 15.
Cody Stickler leading the way. Started this race is really the story on Cody Stickler getting out front. Stickler spun the tires a little bit, all that power in the 46, but the crazy action took place in 1 and 2 on the opening start.
You see there, Green slides up, gets Stickler way up out of the groove. Here comes the other 15 car to the bottom, and Tank Tucker and Stickler somehow up in that 3rd lane. Never Land able to get the power down and surge forward, and he has not looked back since, and he is now 25 laps away from a victory. But that margin has come down quite a bit. It was under 2 seconds for the first time in a long time back to Tank Tucker. It remains at 1.8 that lap. This battle for second is going to go right down to the wire, but the white flag is in the air. 1 lap to go for Cody Stickler.
Stickler sideways off the exit of turn number 2, middle of the backstretch. His lead continues to be 2 seconds or more. That time has picked up a couple of more tenths for a 2.5 second lead as the checkered waves, and at the line, Cody Stickler takes the victory in the Modifieds of Mayhem.
What a dominating day you had, setting the pole and then taking the lead on the first lap, leading this from green to checkered. What does it take to build that kind of speed in your car?
We've been working at it for a while, man. You know, Johnny at RD does a good job at making these cars fast anywhere we go. So I got to give a lot of credit to him, you know, for doing what he does. And wish there was more cars, you know, a little bit more of a show, but we got what we got and we made the best of it.
Sure did. 3 wide for the win and takes it home tonight here at the Prelude to the Cup in the Modifieds of Mayhem.
We're going to see the green flag. This time it is for the Sportsman. Earl Beckner and Donovan Ponder bring us down for the final green flag of the night. We're underway for 50 laps.
A lot of backfire as they go down the front stretch. I told you they'd be sliding sideways from the get-go, Eric. Look at them, the 8 car, a Ponder, 16 of Sozio, kind of working that cushion if we were on dirt at the top of the track.
Sozio may have cut Ponder a bit of a break there. If he would have stayed in the gas, that could have been a big pileup. As now Beckner is cleared to the lead. He leads the opening lap already 3/4 of a second. As now Ponder is stabilized at second spot. And there's fights all over the racetrack early in the go. Sozio powers forwards. We got contact mid-pack, and it looks like it may be that 51 and 50. Both Robinsons involved. The one off the pace, Will Robinson in the 51.
Yeah, he's got a right front down, whether it's suspension or a tire, dropping him off the pace. The 2 team cars and relatives nearly getting involved in that crash off of 2. Here comes the top qualifier. Dodge Carlbert to the low side as you look the lower right of the screen, the 51. Taking it to the pits, Will Robinson. Upper left of the screen, the leader, Earl Beckner in the 71. Out of Apopka, Florida. He's a veteran, just under 60 years of age. We heard Tim Moore talk about that earlier. The 2016 Sunshine State Challenge champion. He's won races here at New Smyrna Speedway. And he's got a comfortable lead of 3.8 seconds. Oh, big bobble from Ponder going into turn 1 that time of the 8.
Similar to what we saw in the start of this race, except it was coming off turn 2 that almost wadded up the field for the champion. Sozio now getting a little bit more aggressive, looking to try to get up to and past Donovan Ponder for that second spot to see if there is anything they can do to catch Beckner for the lead and win. What Ponder's car, yeah.
It's sliding around, starting to go away a little bit on Ponder. Gives up the bottom in turn 3, opens it up for Sozio. Just because you have that inside lane, and it is the preferred groove here, it doesn't mean you can make the pass easily. Tough to keep your momentum up and stay on the bottom of the track. That's the case right there for Sozio. He split up the track. Here comes Carlbert. Opens the inside lane for Carlbert. On the inside in turn 3, battle for third.
Sozio thought he was going to be taking the runner-up spot. Instead, he's going to be losing third. After that moment, look at him underneath Carlbert down the front stretch. That was close.
It's a matter of where Carlbert was able to clear him. Then he kind of lost momentum coming off of turn number 4. Checks up, and Sozio's all over him. Now with the 19 challenge, Cody Struble there as we are halfway. 25 in. 25 to go the next time they cross the line. Watching the battle from second on back.
Palmer Haig trying to get up and underneath Cody Struble to crack a top 5 effort. And here's the battle for second. Since moving up to third, Dodge Carlbert is not slowing down there. Inside of Donovan Ponder for second. The problem is this is nearly 5 seconds behind the leader, Earl Beckner. But now Dodge Carlbert has gone to the runner-up position with Ponder back to third.
Carlbert holding on to second now and setting his sights. Mind you, he set fast time in qualifying. He's methodically worked his way into second. He's going to leave these cars far behind, I feel, under a green flag run as we're just past halfway.
He might have a little bit of help here. He gets checked up a little bit behind one of the lap cars, does Beckner. That's the 31 machine of Rodney Haddock, who now is going to yield to the inside. It was only enough for Dodge to be able to close up about 1/10 of a second a lap ago.
Beckner completes lap 38. We'll see what the lap traffic did as far as slow them down or speed them up. It's down to 3.1 seconds. Picked up a couple of tenths, and for the first time tonight, we have a traditional yellow. We had only one yellow, and that was a comp yellow in the 100 lapper. As for a spin coming off of turn 2. The leader, Beckner, outside, chooses when to go. He does in the box, and that was the key. He's going to have a big advantage into turn 1 and 2. Carlbert, not the start he was looking for. And to the outside, here comes Struble in the 19.
Haig with a big slide behind him there. He catches the car off the corner. Race stays green as Beckner is able to launch out of the start zone and propel himself to a healthy advantage at the conclusion of the first lap off the restart with Carlbert to second.
Struble holding off the 8 of Ponder for the number 3 position. Donovan Ponder drops in line in 4th. Into the top 5 for the first time. Steve Barnes in the 58. Still running well is the leader, Beckner. Final 3 laps. Can he make it to the finish?
Half a second. Now the gap from Beckner to Carlbert, who continues to try to close. Turn 4 has been Beckner's trouble spot the last few laps. It'll be 2 laps to go when he comes back around. We'll see if he can keep the car off the fence as he washes wide again. And Carlbert has arrived on the scene.
Final 2 paces. The advantage is strong, takes it up the track. The 0-2 strength, middle of the corner. 71 pushes up off the corner, loses some ground. And he's going to push up again here in 4, but he's only got 1 lap left. White flag is out for Beckner. The Carlbert is there, right behind him, down to a couple of car lengths in 1 and 2.
Carlbert sets up high. He's going to get a big drive here off of turn 2. Is it going to be enough to try to make a move? Final set of corners. Beckner the leader. Carlbert trying to close off of turn 4. Beckner runs wide. Here comes Carlbert to the bottom, but it's not going to happen. Earl Beckner dominates the Sportsman to close out the Prelude to the Cup.
Earl, first off, congratulations on a dominating race win tonight. But in the final moments, we saw fire coming out from underneath the 71, and second place was hot on your tail. What was going through your mind in those final laps?
Yeah, the carburetor was going kind of lean on it, and we third carburetor this weekend, but I knew I had to get a good lead on that 0-2. You know, Culver's pretty good everywhere he goes, and we've had a tough year. We haven't finished the race all year. You know, I mean, we just wrecked every race, and you know, it feels come back good to come out here. You know, home track and really do a good job tonight. And you know, do we have a perfect car? No, maybe 0-2 was a little bit quicker than us, but you know, I'd still, you know, I wouldn't trade it.
Absolutely, finishing the season on a high note. The 71 race winner tonight, Earl Beckner.